The Art of Violence presents Alex Pereira, Ruthless Power. From the streets of São Bernardo do Campo, Brazil, to the center of the Octagon, Alex Pereira's career has been defined by one thing: pure, ruthless power. With knockout wins that have left crowds stunned and opponents floored, Pereira's rise to greatness is a story of perseverance, setbacks, and the unrelenting force behind every punch and kick. Today, we're diving into the key moments of his journey, the fights that showed his unstoppable power, and how Alex Pereira became one of the most feared strikers in MMA. Growing up in São Bernardo do Campo, Alex Pereira's early years were far from easy. In a life surrounded by struggle, he found his way out through combat sports. With a natural strength and explosive power, he soon discovered that he had something special: Poatan, or hands of stone. Driven by a hunger to succeed, Pereira began his career in kickboxing, setting his sights on dominating the sport. Pereira quickly made a name for himself in glory kickboxing, where his signature left hook became feared across the division. With an arsenal of explosive strikes and unmatchable power, Pereira unleashed brutal knockouts that left no doubt he was here to conquer. His early performances showcased the raw, ruthless power that would eventually carry him to the top. Every punch, every kick, every strike, it was clear that Pereira's power was something different. But as he continued to rise, Pereira would face moments that would test not only his skill, but his resilience. In the world of combat sports, no journey is without setbacks. Pereira faced challenges that forced him to grow, like his loss to Yusri Belgari. Belgari's speed and technical skills pushed Pereira to his limits, exposing areas that needed improvement. But Pereira didn't just learn from this loss. He came back stronger, with an even greater determination to dominate. Determined to redeem himself, Pereira trained relentlessly, refining his technique and honing his timing. When the rematch came, Pereira showed the world what a dedicated champion looks like, securing a brutal knockout victory over Belgari and silencing any doubts. After avenging his loss to Belgari, Pereira went on to achieve something that no one in glory kickboxing had ever done. He became the first fighter to simultaneously hold the middleweight and light heavyweight titles, made him a dominant force across two divisions, cementing his legacy in the kickboxing world. With every title defense, Pereira demonstrated that his power wasn't just about strength, it was about precision, timing, and an unbreakable spirit. But even with this success, Pereira wasn't done. He set his sights on an even greater challenge: mixed martial arts. Making the leap from kickboxing to MMA is a difficult move for many strikers, but Pereira knew he was destined for greatness. With his eyes set on the UFC, he trained day and night, working on his grappling, takedown defense, and adapting his striking for the Octagon. In 2021, Pereira made his highly anticipated debut, and fans were eager to see if Hands of Stone could bring the same ruthless power to the UFC. Pereira's UFC debut against Andreas Michailidis didn't disappoint. After a challenging first round, Pereira showed his deadly striking in the second round with an explosive flying knee, finishing the fight in spectacular fashion. The knockout was a reminder that Pereira's power was a force to be reckoned with, even in MMA. The flying knee not only marked Pereira's arrival in the UFC, but showed the MMA world that his kickboxing power could be just as devastating in the cage. As Pereira continued his climb in the UFC's middleweight division, he faced top-ranked contender Sean Strickland. Strickland, known for his aggressive style, stepped in for the biggest fight of his career. The victory over Strickland earned Pereira a shot at the middleweight title against the reigning champion, Israel Adesanya. Pereira and Adesanya had met twice before in kickboxing, with Pereira winning both times, once by decision and once by knockout. This third encounter would be different, taking place in the Octagon, with the UFC title on the line. In a hard-fought battle, Adesanya showcased his elite striking and control, keeping Pereira at bay for much of the fight. But Pereira's resilience and power remained. In the fifth round, Pereira saw his opportunity. Backing Adesanya against the cage, he unleashed a brutal combination, landing clean shots that forced the referee to step in. Alex Pereira had become the UFC middleweight champion. The victory was a crowning achievement for Pereira, proving that his power and determination could overcome any opponent. From kickboxing champion to UFC champion, Alex Pereira had reached the top of the MMA world. With the middleweight title around his waist, Pereira faced an immediate rematch with Adesanya, who was determined to reclaim his throne. This time, Adesanya came prepared, exploiting openings in Pereira's defense. In a dramatic exchange, Adesanya landed a knockout, reclaiming his title. Though Pereira faced a setback, it became another chapter in his journey, one of resilience and the relentless pursuit of greatness. After the rematch, Pereira took on a new challenge, the light heavyweight division. With even bigger opponents and harder challenges, Pereira was ready to test his power once again. His transition to light heavyweight proved that his career was far from over. It was just entering a new chapter. Alex was more comfortable fighting closer to his natural weight. He quickly made a statement by defeating former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz. He staved off Blachowicz's grappling and takedowns, landed powerful strikes, and came away with a decisive victory. The win immediately put him in line to fight for the light heavyweight championship versus Jiri Prochazka, the dangerous warrior from Czechia. Alex demonstrated the precision and power that have become his trademarks, navigating through a dynamic and dangerous opponent. Pereira's composure was evident as he controlled the distance with pinpoint low kicks and stiff jabs, keeping Prochazka's aggressive advances in check. Prochazka pushed forward, aiming to engage Pereira in wild exchanges, but Pereira remained calm, evading with sharp footwork and responding with counters that visibly shook Prochazka. In the second round, Pereira saw his opening. Timing a counter perfectly, he unleashed his devastating left hook, a weapon that has failed many of his opponents. Pereira followed up with a calculated barrage of strikes, delivering a thunderous right hand that sealed the TKO victory and became the light heavyweight champion. His first title defense was against the powerful knockout artist Jamal Hill, who was returning from injury to reclaim his light heavyweight belt. But like so many others, the size, strength, and ruthless power in the stone hands of Poatan brought Jamal Hill to the canvas in devastating fashion. Pereira then defended his belt against the likes of Jiri Prochazka second time, finishing him with a textbook head kick and a very powerful and tough Khalil Roundtree, but the outcomes remain the same: smashing victory. Alex Pereira's journey is defined by his unbreakable spirit, his resilience, and above all, his raw, ruthless power. From glory champion to UFC champion, Pereira has shown the world what it means to fight with everything you have. His legacy isn't just about wins and titles, it's about the relentless pursuit of greatness. Let us know in the comments your favorite Alex Pereira knockout, and be sure to subscribe for more breakdowns of the most electrifying fighters in MMA.